Hello guys, I'm gonna be dead serious about this one. Avoid all restaurants. All restaurants, fast food, normal restaurants at all costs. If you want to be healthy. If you want to be healthy, you gotta change the way you do things and you gotta have super high discipline. Why? Because one mistake can set off a cascade of problems inside of your body. And I'm not joking. So, I'm a very healthy eater. I go into organic shops. I pick everything intuitively. I focus on basically the most anti-inflammatory foods, etc. But yesterday I was in San Jose in Spain, and it felt kind of like where I was, this time you're gonna do something for yourself, because there were some days before that were stressful. I was in the storm, some other things that came up, and I was like, let's just do something for you, kind of like a form of self-love. And I said the form of self-love, I'm gonna go eat something in the Indian food store, in the Indian restaurant. And then I kept on walking, and I passed by a really tiny restaurant, Italian like takeout food in San Jose. And I was wondering like what they have. So I started looking, and then without much discernment, I said, well, give me this tiny pizzarette, or what they call pizzette or something. It's like a small pizza without much on top. She heated it for me. That was fine, but it's wheat basically. I don't eat even wheat anymore. Like, I eat almost no grains whatsoever. I don't eat milk products by cows because they're all inflammation causing inside of the body. So there's even proof that if you continuously eat fermented food, that inflammation in the body goes down, by the way. But I'm talking about the self-fermented food, or the one that you get in France, which is not pasteurized. So the whole food thing is very complicated. That's why nobody does it, because you need some kind of interest, competence, and really getting into it before you start to understand what you're putting into your body. I eat absolutely zero sugars also. Zero sugars. So yesterday I was at this Italian, so I ate that. Taste-wise it was nice. And then I took a tiramisu with me, and I took a carrot cake with me. The tiramisu looked great. The consistency was fine. The way it was kind of made, everything was fine. Also what was fine was the cake looked absolutely gorgeous. And I took those things with me, and with the Indian food, which I ate before, much like 2 hours before, the thing is, what, for example, a lot of Indian restaurants do, I mean, there's so much going on in these restaurants, which I want to unpack right now, is that you must understand it's basically all toxic for you. It gives you a short boost in terms of energy, maybe a little bit of protein, if there's meat in it, whatever. But it's all toxic for you. And I'm gonna explain why. The first thing is, or let me finish first the experience that I had now. So the tiramisu had sugar in the mascarpone. And it's a Roman woman. I'm pretty sure she knows what she's doing in terms of like cooking. And then the whole night, I didn't eat the cake yet. The cake wasn't eaten yet. That was for the next day, basically. The whole night, I had acid burn or acid reflux, and I haven't had it for a month and month and month. By the way, I had with the closing kind of esophagus, kind of closing sphincter at the top of the stomach. I did have for many years a problem, and then they removed the tooth, which had a root canal, and it was very high time to remove that tooth. It ended up to be a black tooth, which with the bacteria, or they took a little bit of the bone away. And the thing is that I heard this a couple of times with the root canal. I'm gonna get back into the restaurant in a minute. Just wanted to explain how it all cascades. The root canals, there's over time there builds up so much bacteria that your body is in constant problems. So anytime you never take a root canal, it's better to get the tooth out. Anyway, so once the tooth was out, I never had problems with my stomach again. So that was super interesting. And then I started to eat. I always ate very healthy, but I started to eat more whole foods, more like fresh and stuff, and really like careful. Not every time, but often. And I never had acid reflux again at night, which at times I had really strongly at night. So before that, and then with this mascarpone, with the tiramisu, I literally had it the whole night, and I didn't think about, the natron or the bicarbonate, sodium bicarbonate to neutralize it, which is a great natural way to do this. But you have to be highly disciplined. You cannot accept that is the standard thing. I mean, some people then take, PPIs, like proton pump inhibitors or whatever, because of the acid reflux. You have to change what you're eating. You have to cut out the sugar. You have to cut out the wheat. You have to cut out the fried foods. You gotta completely change that stuff. Completely change that stuff. And now I get to the restaurants. The restaurants had tighter and tighter margins. People don't have the money anymore to pay a lot of money in these restaurants, and the restaurants don't have time. They don't have they're not. They may be cooking by heart, but it's the ingredients, everything doesn't make any sense anymore. They buy a lot of this stuff finished, like all these Indian restaurants. Do you think that they make like the salsa or like the whatever, the juices and stuff like that, or whatever they do? Do you think they make it in store? No, they buy everything from distributors who all get it from either GMO shit or highly industrialized shit with sugar, with a lot of conservatives, conservantes, basically. So it has it can stay a lot of time in the refrigerator, and so forth and so forth and so forth and so forth. And it doesn't matter which restaurant. And you have to get knowledgeable. We need this kind of like anti-industrialization movement. We really need to get back to having our own vegetables, our own fruits, our own whatever we want. And we have to understand that these industrialized stuff is really, 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 really bad for us. And so I basically recommend everyone to completely avoid restaurant. It's not easy because social life is it's better to just go in a restaurant and have like a non-alcoholic beer or something. But to eat in a restaurant, don't do it. Unless you might do it if it's, for example, just a steak and some potatoes or something, like once a month or so. But the moment your stomach says anything about it, like acid reflux, whatever, you have to stop it. You have to stop it. And I made myself now a decision that I'm gonna find something else I'm going to like give myself gratitude in terms of food. I'm going to maybe I'll have a recipe or something that gives back to me when I feel like, okay. The great thing is that it's kind of like getting a massage. Maybe I should do that instead. Like if I say, okay, I had a tough few days or something was going on, I'll just, book a massage instead of going to a restaurant or something like that. I'll think about something, but it will definitely not be a restaurant anymore. It makes literally no sense. And I hear it more and more often that people have problems after restaurants. It's just not a good idea. Oh, and what I wanted to say, for example, as an example, the Indian restaurants, I mean, there's millions of examples, but the Indian restaurants, they color the rice a lot of times. That's not natural coloring. That's artificial coloring, and it's actually carcinogenic, meaning it promotes cancer. So, and all of that stuff should be prohibited, but all of them have it. There's very few Indian restaurants that color it traditionally, naturally. So I wanted to share this with you because maybe you're not that aware of how much of a difference it makes. And I've been month and month only buying the best food, really the best kind of like ingredients and stuff. And then one day doing something else and I have trouble the whole night. And you have to understand what it means. Like, you have to really internalize it. When acid, stomach acid, is as harsh or sometimes harsher than battery acid, and when it comes up your throat, imagine what it does to you. And yeah, you gotta be super aware of this. And it's not, PPIs are not the solution, and it's probably not H. pylori that's causing whatever you have. Maybe, but there's an underlying issue in your energetic body that is causing other issues that is then cascading, basically. So of course you have to look at it holistically, but do not put this poison in you.